A warm morning to one and all virtually present here. Today, we are all gathered together for the webinar on Partnership for Action Against Tuberculosis, PACT. Jan Andolan for TB Free India by 2025, Edition 2, focusing on two southern states, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. Edition 1 took place at Gujarat in the month of September 2020. We now have Thomas Matthew, Unit Head, Chennai Plant, Apollo Tyres, to welcome the gathering.
Good morning and a warm welcome to one and all who is attending this webinar on Partnership of Action Against Tuberculosis. Apollo Tyres through Apollo Tyres Foundation has always been in forefront for this kind of noble causes, wherein we provide mass awareness campaign and also support underprivileged people in their fight against dreaded diseases like AIDS and now tuberculosis. We have initiated a fight against AIDS in the early part of last decade, and the success and the knowledge we gained gave us the strength to embark on this mission on TB. Today, we are delighted to host the second TB campaign on behalf of Apollo Tyres Foundation for two states of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Today, we are privileged to have Mr. Satish Sharma, President, Apollo Tyres Limited, and Dr. Sudarshan Mandal, Additional Deputy Director General from CTD of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Both of them has agreed in the midst of their busy schedule to attend this webinar and provide the necessary guidance. I extend a warm welcome to both of them. We are also glad to partner with USAID and the Union to collaborate and to bring this together. Today, we have Mrs. Sangeeta Patel, Director, Health Office, USAID India, with us. I also extend a warm welcome to Mrs. Sangeeta. India has one of the highest TB burden in the world, and amongst the states such as Gujarat, UP, and Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh is also pegged in the high incidence category. Apollo Tyres has its biggest manufacturing plant in Tamil Nadu and recently have started a new plant in the state of Andhra Pradesh. We are mindful of the close relationship with the present pandemic COVID and TB. It is proven that the TB patients are more vulnerable to get infected with COVID due to low immunity. So we are making sure that the TB awareness and the cure gets significant attention. In extension to providing the service to our trucking community, we also implement the awareness on TB to our own employees and their families. This year, we have reached out to nearly 100 employees in Chennai plant alone. The campaign of a trucking community that started on 8th of March has been well received and reaching out almost more than 1 lakh till date. It is happening in 19 states across India. There will be a detailed presentation on the campaign in the subsequent sessions. Today, after this inaugural session, we will be having a short interactive session with the representative from the government of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. Dr. Asha Frederick, State TB Officer, TB Cell Tamil Nadu, and Dr. T. Ramarao, Joint Director and State TB Officer Andhra Pradesh will be representing the respective state governments. I extend a warm welcome to both the doctors. Also, we have today with us Mr. Mohammed Shadab, Senior Manager, Corporate Partnerships, and Dr. Manu Matthew, Deputy Project Director from the Union. Welcome to this session, sirs. This will be followed by the panel discussion on role of corporate sector in Jan Andolan for a TB-free India. I extend a warm welcome to all the panel members for this program. This is only a starting, and we have a long way to go to ensure TB-free India by 2025. The Jan Andolan has just begun, and we are glad to be part of that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your warm welcome. We now have Sangeeta Patel, Director Health Office USAID India, who will talk about global perspective on TB.
Good morning. Vanakkam. I'm delighted to be a part of this webinar on the role of the corporate sector in the Jan Andolan for a TB-free India. I'd like to commend the Government of India and the State of Tamil Nadu, as well as Apollo Tyres Foundation, for their efforts to support the TB Jan Andolan. Apollo Tyres Foundation's Partnership for Action Against Tuberculosis, PACT, campaign is an excellent example of how companies can play a pivotal role in partnering with the government to improve public health outcomes. As we all know, India has the world's largest number of TB cases, with over 400,000 TB-related deaths every year. This huge TB burden poses significant challenges to India's health, economic, and development outcomes. Prime Minister Modi said it best when he wanted to eliminate TB as a priority, and USAID supports this ambitious call to action by 2025. USAID has partnered closely with the National TB Elimination Program and the Central TB Division for the past 15 years, supporting the Government of India in this ambitious endeavor to improve active TB case finding, introduce new case diagnostics and medicines focusing on drug-resistant TB, as well as improve community advocacy. Corporations can also play their part. It's very important for them to remain catalytic and support the national goal to eliminate TB. To encourage companies to support the goal, by 2019 in April, USAID and the Central TB Division launched the Corporate TB Pledge, an initiative that's providing an ability for corporations to be able to respond. In less than 2 years, over 120 companies joined in this fight in the Corporate TB Pledge, and these effects have already started to be seen, with over 2 million company employees and their family members served with critical TB services. Apollo Tyres is the highest membership category of the Corporate TB Pledge, a diamond member. They've done a phenomenal job of not only creating awareness and investing in corporate social responsibility resources, but also really modeling and championing for other companies what to do in this environment. Apollo Tyres has shown how companies can design and lead public health programs, and we're extremely proud of your contributions as well as your continued effort to mobilize even more countries in this fight against TB, particularly as part of this TB-Free Highways campaign. Now more than ever, there's a great need for the government, the private sector, as well as civil society to be able to join hands and work more closely to support TB control and elimination, in addition to COVID-19 management. A TB-free nation is possible in the next few years if we are able to organize communities, we're able to combine our resource, and we're able to put our best foot forward together. USAID is very proud to be a part of you in this journey, particularly as we work with other key stakeholders to support TB efforts, not only within India, but across the world. Thank you once again for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to the discussion during this webinar. Nandri Vanakkam.
That was a very crisp and effective way to give a global perspective on TB. Thanks to Ms. Sangeeta. Special address from a special person who is a votary of our work in this space. Satish Sharma, President, Apollo Tyres Limited, is ready to deliver his special address to this August gathering. Over to you, sir.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. I am Satish Sharma, President APMEA at Apollo Tyres. Before COVID, India has already been dealing with another global scourge, which is tuberculosis. TB has killed nearly 450,000 people in 2019, which accounts for nearly 1,000 deaths every day. This is enormous. TB can be fatal if not taken seriously. It is all about raising awareness and ensuring the tests are conducted to identify cases with TB. Equally pertinent is the administering of the medication complemented with a good nutritious diet.
Halting the medication in between its course could possibly turn TB into multi-drug resistant TB, which again has catastrophic outcomes. It is perilous, and the cases of MDR in India are on a big surge, making it the second largest country with this infection. We at Apollo Tyres embarked on this journey to provide healthcare service to the trucking population in India, given their nomadic lifestyle and lack of health infrastructure available in 2000. Our healthcare centers started HIV awareness, and later we added vision screening and provision on generic health checkups. In 2018, we extended the service to provide awareness on TB and provide linkage with government centers known as DOTS. We incorporated TB as it is a co-infection with HIV. The TB awareness project is integrated in all our 31 healthcare centers of Apollo across India, covering 19 states. Since the start of the TB project, we have reached out to nearly 183,000 beneficiaries through our awareness modules and tested over 4,000 numbers across India. It is critical that patients, when found positive, must be connected to the DOTS. We have connected over 85% of patients found positive with TB to ensure that the medical treatment is provided. This is an arduous task, as you can imagine, given that we are dealing with a mobile population, and tracking them is not easy, let alone connecting and ensuring medical supplies linkage. Our core value of care for society propels us further to ensure that the healthcare is deep-rooted in our communities that we operate in. This is the reason we extended the awareness project not only for our employees, but also their families. In this project, we have also extended it in our communities across our manufacturing locations. So far, we have managed to reach out to 6,140 people through awareness and provided 153 sessions. The learning is also being cascaded across the entire value chain. We have initiated the process of attaching corporates, NGO partners, and others on this journey to raise awareness on TB. Through Jan Andolan, it's our endeavor to continue this work and make India TB free by 2025, as we have also managed to make it polio free. Desh jitega, TB harega.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your ongoing support. Awareness is a state of being conscious of something, especially the visual communication. Seeing and listening has a big impact on understanding things better. We are now going to witness an awareness video on tuberculosis acted by Big B, Amitabh Bachchan.
अरे सुनिए भाई
Video,
साहब,
please.
जरा गाड़ी चेक कर लीजिए प्लीज। कई हफ्तों से आवाज कर रही है।
हाँ अभी देख लेते हैं। मुन्ना मैकेनिक हाथ लगाते ही बता देता है गाड़ी का हाजमा। आप बैठिए। आपकी गाड़ी को टीबी हो गया है, ट्यूबरकुलोसिस।
क्या कमाल की बात कर रहे हैं भाई साहब, गाड़ी को भी कभी टीबी हो सकता है क्या?
इतना जानते हैं कि गाड़ी को टीबी नहीं होता है, लेकिन ये नहीं जानते कि कोई भी इंसान अगर 2 हफ्ते से ज्यादा खांस रहा है तो ये टीबी के लक्षण हो सकते हैं। इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ, याद रखिए, 2 हफ्ते से ज्यादा अगर आपको खांसी हो, बुखार हो, पसीना आ रहा हो, अचानक वजन कम हो जाए, तो ये सब के सब टीबी के लक्षण हो सकते हैं। इसकी जांच करवाइए और सरकारी स्वास्थ्य केंद्र में जांच मुफ्त है, एकदम फ्री। इंडिया वर्सेस टीबी, टीबी हारेगा, देश जीतेगा।
Hope the AV conveys the message very clearly, short and crisp. Next, we are moving to the most important part of the session, Chief Guest Address. We have with us Dr. Sudarshan Mandal, Additional DDG Tuberculosis, CTD, Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, to deliver his address. Sir, the dais is all yours.
First of all, I would like to thank the organizers to continue the momentum by organizing this webinar. We had a great event under the leadership of our Honorable Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare on 24th March to mark the World TB Day. Program fully recognizes the crucial role that corporate sector can play in reaching the unreached, including workers and the communities. Corporate sector can also play a great role in bringing expertise solutions to fight against tuberculosis. To mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on the efforts towards ending TB, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has initiated TB Mukt Bharat, a Jan Andolan for Tuberculosis campaign to accelerate the efforts towards achieving our 2025 target for elimination. With TB Mukt Bharat, we have to see how best we can utilize the ideas and resources for the program. We need to carefully utilize the resources in identification of key population in selected cities, treatment and adherence practices and rehabilitation needs. We have identified the theme-based activities in each month. For example, for the month of March, the theme is World TB Day. For April, engaging communities through health and wellness centers. May, TB-free workplaces. June, TB and women. August, engaging religious leaders and Panchayati Raj institutions. September, TB prevention and lung health. And for the month of October, it's TB and nutrition. For November, engaging children and youth. December, TB camps. I am very happy to see that Apollo Tyres Foundation has been doing great work for truckers and allied population to spread TB awareness and promoting TB testing at 31 locations across 19 states. The Jan Andolan for Tuberculosis among the truckers by Apollo Tyres Foundation is a great initiative, and this idea of 2 weeks biannual active case finding campaign is certainly going to help in reducing the delay in diagnosis among the truckers. I am also happy to note that Apollo Tyres Foundation is continuously working with the program to start more microscopic centers. I look forward to more such multi-sector partnerships emerging from these initiatives, both public and private sector working collectively towards the common mission of ending TB by 2025. Each company can look at possible ways for supporting service expansion. So you have to adapt surrounding villages, work on a 360-degree model by creating awareness on TB and facilitating early testing and supporting TB patients by introducing counseling and other support such as nutrition and rehabilitation. From the program, we assure you to extend all the help to Apollo Tyres. With these words, I would like to thank all the participants and look forward to a fruitful webinar. Thank you very much. TB harega, desh jitega.
Thank you, sir. We are truly honored to be receiving such support from you. The webinar's focus is on 2 states, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, where Apollo Tyres has its major tire manufacturing facilities, one in each state. We saw Chennai Plant Unit Head Thomas Matthew delivering his welcome address in the beginning of the session. Now we have Anand Satyamurthy, Unit Head Chinna Panduru Plant Apollo Tyres Limited, who will be delivering the closing remarks of this session. Sir, over to you.
Thank you very much, Prithvi. It's been an honor to be part of this initiative. As we come to the close of this session, finally, our fight to end this epidemic will continue. I would like to thank our President, Mr. Satish Sharma, for honoring this occasion and also spreading the awareness about how Apollo Tyres is helping to fight this epidemic. I would also like to thank Dr. Sudarshan Mandal from Government of India for joining us. We are also extremely grateful to our partners, the Union, for their technical support on the field, as well as USAID for their overall guidance. This campaign wouldn't have been a success without the support of the Central TB Division. We are both privileged and grateful for their unmatched support. The following session will showcase some of the highlights of our campaign and has some great insights from an eminent panel on how corporates can support to make a TB-free India. Apollo Tyres will continue its support to ensure we reach the target of 2025 to eradicate TB. Desh jeetega, TB harega. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And that's the end of session 1. We are now moving to session 2, presentation and panel discussion followed by a Q&A. Mohammad Shadab, Senior Manager, Corporate Partnership, The Union, will be giving an overview on Corporate TB Pledge. Handing over the stage to you, Shadab.
Thank you for this opportunity. Let me share my screen. Just a second, please. Yes. So again, thanks for organizing this webinar and also a successful campaign which Apollo Tyres Foundation has implemented in identifying TB patients among truckers and allied population, which is a hard to reach community and with very little access to services. I'll just, a lot of things have been already discussed on how corporate can support Jan Andolan and partnerships. I'll focus on what Corporate TB Pledge is. So basically, Corporate TB Pledge was launched in 2019 to support government in India in TB elimination efforts, particularly to mobilize the corporate sector. So what the pledge is basically, this is important slide for understanding what the pledge is. Pledge has been divided into 4 categories. It has 4 tiers: silver, gold, platinum, and diamond. So silver basically asks for commitment. Any company can join pledge and say, okay, we recognize that TB is a problem and we pledge our support and we will do something about it. And obviously they remember TB whenever there is an opportunity comes, they talk about it. Gold level is commitment where you do activities on certain important occasion like World TB Day, World Health Day, Women Day, and make awareness in communities and workplaces. So again, non-financial, but commitment to reach out to people and give visibility to TB. Third one, which is platinum, is actually the significant and important commitment where resources come in, where you have to commit your resources. So other than what you do in silver and gold, along with that in platinum categories, you also put financial resources to do awareness activities, projects to identify patients from the field, because delay in diagnosis is a major challenge in TB control program. So you put resources to do CSR projects in the in the communities, or you do intensive awareness and case finding projects at workplaces. So dedicated TB and workplace program is also part of this. So these are 3 categories. Along with this comes the last and top category, which is just diamond category. So in diamond, along with what you do in silver, gold, and platinum, you also do the championship and you become champion by mobilizing other corporates. This is exactly what Apollo Tyres as a diamond member is doing today. We through Apollo Tyres are able to reach you and share with you what pledge is and how TB is a problem, how it is impacting our businesses, and how we are losing about 1,200 people every day from a disease which is curable, which is treatable, for which treatment and testing is being given free of cost. But still there is a lot of lack of awareness, delay in diagnosis, and we are not able to reach people, and that is where we call upon everyone, all the corporate sector, to help us to join the pledge and also facilitate reach among workers and communities you are based around. This is slide where we like to really showcase this slide. Many of our corporate partners are here, not all of them, because we have 120 corporate partners with us. So some of them are reflected here. This is the beautiful slide and you may be here. In terms of what can be done, I think enough has been said. We need your help to reach people, and you can facilitate our connect with your workers, with communities, and rest we will take care. This is again in terms of what you can do in health. So if you already have a health project, if you do health camps, you can integrate TB messaging, you can do symptomatic screening, you can support microscopy testing, you can set up microscopy in your existing labs, you can facilitate private x-rays, you can support patients who are poor, who are from poor economic condition with nutrition, because poverty and TB is also correlated. There are patients who have been cured, but they had to leave job because it's a prolonged treatment. So many of them have to change their sectors. They may be trained. So if you have any skills training center, if you are into skilling, you can help to train these people in different skills so that they can get new jobs. This is again, I think, the most important slide. So as a member, as a corporate TB pledge member, if you join the pledge, what do you get? You get specifically designed IEC material, information, education, and communication material for workplaces and for communities, which we will share with you once you join the pledge. At the same time, we help you design your CSR projects on TB, your workplace projects on TB. We help you to coordinate with district TB officials to access free treatment, free testing, and to organize testing camps within your premises. We also have corporate TB pledge online platform, which was launched day before yesterday by the Honorable Health Minister at World TB Day event in Delhi. This online platform gives you access to information, services, connect with other corporate, learning about what are different things being done by corporate sector. Also, there is a provision of organizing Hall of Fame. The good work of corporate is recognized here every month. And at the same time, through joining this pledge, we do various high visibility event and make sure that the good work is recognized. So again, I'm happy to share that Apollo Tyres Foundation was recognized by the Health Ministry, by Union Health Minister at the event only day before yesterday. And so in terms of totality, from A to Z, in terms of technical support, you get through the union, because we manage the CTP Secretariat, and we make sure that if you invest something, there is free of cost technical support to you. There are medicine and there are testing which is free of cost from the government, and then there is goodwill within the community you work with. So you get healthier workforce, you cut the chain of transmission, you reduce absenteeism, and your work is documented and shared and is scaled if it is a good practice. So in terms of visibility, you see Amitabh Bachchan, former US Ambassador, Ratan Tata ji, they came together and they said that we pledge our voice and our support for TB. And again, this is what they did. And based on their commitment and commitment from ministry, today we have here so many corporates attending. And I'm happy that Apollo Tyres has really led it from the front. So thank you everyone for your attention, and thank you Apollo Tyres for leading and making sure that it becomes a Jan Andolan. Thank you.
Thank you, Shadab. And thank you for a very nice presentation on Corporate TB Pledge, which is one of the main aspects of today's webinar. In the earlier session, we witnessed the speech of Dr. Sudarshan Mandal from Central TB Division. Now it's time for the state TB officers of Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, who will be sharing their views on the state level incidences and experiences. Our question to both of you is, what is the current incidence rate of TB in the state? And what are the challenges that the state experiences? In your opinion, what are the two things that can be done to address those challenges? Yes, Mr. Dr. T. Ramarao, State TB Officer, who is also the Joint Director TB for the state of Andhra Pradesh. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. So, this is to inform. Andhra Pradesh has been implementing the National TB Control Program based on NTB strategy as per the guidelines communicated by Central TB Division, Government of India. So, we are moving towards elimination of TB with the goal of elimination of TB by 2025 as per the appeal of the Honorable Prime Minister. So, this is also to inform Andhra Pradesh has been stood second position in nation in 2019, for which it was awarded appreciation certificate and also could get Scotch Gold Award in 2019. Andhra Pradesh has started so many innovations, especially in technology wise, like in treatment adherence, monitoring of the treatment adherence like 99 dots, MERM boxes, etc. Only one challenge we faced in 2020 because of COVID, compared to 2019, we had a loss of almost 30% notifications because all our diagnostic equipment that was introduced in Andhra Pradesh for the first time in India compared to other states, like rapid diagnostic tests like CBNAT, TrueNAT, etc. All those machines have been deployed to COVID testing. So just in a phased manner, we could get back all those machines and we could come to 56% notifications in 2020 against the expected target. And of course in 2021 again we could come back with a better notification rate. I feel there is a specific role for corporate social sector in control or elimination of TB program supporting the states. I am very happy in Andhra Pradesh already we have 8 agencies supporting under CSR or civil society support. So Andhra Pradesh is always welcomes any corporate agency. If they want to support Andhra Pradesh, we are always ready to take the support either in infrastructure or in diagnostic facilities or in establishment of DRTB centers or in linkages of X-rays or CBNAT to the private sector, whatever may be. We are very happy to invite any corporate sector to support Andhra Pradesh under CSR. I think with this we are. I wish everybody and we hope we soon achieve the goal of elimination of TB by 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The same question for Dr. Asha Frederick, State TB Officer, NTEP, State TB Cell Tamil Nadu. Madam, over to you.
Greetings from the State TB Cell Tamil Nadu. We are indeed at the crossroads in our journey to end the TB scourge from the country. In Tamil Nadu, we began with charting out a strategy document with objectives to realize this goal. We started this journey in the year 2018. There was a workshop in December where we gathered all the district TB officers and the public health officers for a 2-day workshop where we came up with a strategy document. The Central TB Division has been hand-holding with the states for innovative solutions, and one such is the TB-free workplace policy. The Confederation of Indian Industry, in partnership with the Central TB Division, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, commenced the TB-free workplace campaign towards achieving the national mandate by 2025, while safeguarding economic productivity and ensuring a healthier, productive workforce. CII is actively engaged with the community, industries and policymakers as well as the health workers to take this agenda forward through several interventions. We also had a meeting the last year during the pandemic, and I'm happy to inform that we were able to organize screening camp for TB among the truckers with the support of Apollo Tyres in Chennai. In our other endeavors under the NTEP, we will be implementing the management of latent TB infection and Tamil Nadu TB prevalence survey is one that is very close to our hearts, because we would want to know what is the prevalence within each district. So this will help us to come up with district specific solutions to tackle this TB problem. And I would request the partners who are logged in to this webinar and the Central TB Division and the Union to help us in this endeavor. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to take part in this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us and giving a perspective on the two states with regard to tuberculosis. Next, we have our TB champion, Khatak Bahadur Thapa, who had TB and now treated, is here with us to share his experience.
मैं खटक बहादुर थापा बोल रहा हूँ। मेरे को 1 साल पहले टीबी का शिकायत आ गया, तो मैं घबरा गया। मैं अब ठीक नहीं होऊंगा, लोगों ने भी बोल दिया कि ये डेंजर बीमार है, ठीक नहीं होगा करके बोले थे। तो फिर अचानक अपोलो टायर वाले सर का साथ मेरा मुलाकात हुआ, तो उन्होंने मुझे दवाई दिलाया। मैंने 6 महीना दवाई खाया। दवाई 6 महीना खाने के बाद मेरा बीमार बिल्कुल भी ठीक हो गया। मुझे महीना 500 रुपया पैसा भी मिला है, राशन भी मिला है, तो सारा चीज का सुविधा भी मिला है। अभी मैं एकदम ठीक ठाक हो गया हूँ। तो इसमें घबराने वाली ये बीमारी तो नहीं है। मैं तो पहले अचानक हुआ था तो मैं घबरा गया था। तो किसी भी भाई को ये हो सकता है तो वो अपोलो टायर में उपस्थित हो गया अपना नाम दर्ज करे।
That's wonderful to see. See, Bahadur Thapa is like our Chennai FC, which is one of the ICL team. Anirudh Thapa, who's a captain and a midfielder and who's a fighter as well. Happy to see Bahadur Thapa to get back to his normalcy after fighting against tuberculosis.
Next 40 minutes, we are going to witness hot panel discussion on
the role of corporate sector in Jan Andolan for a TB-free India, followed by a Q&A session. I would like to hand over the stage to Renika Grover, Head CSR and Sustainability Apollo Tyres Limited, who will be moderating this entire session along with the 4 eminent speakers. The stage is yours, Renika.
Thank you, Prithvi. You rightly said there are really eminent panel speakers, and I am absolutely delighted to be hosting and moderating this panel on role of corporate sector in Jan Andolan for a TB-free India. Before we begin, I would like to introduce our eminent panel members who are absolutely amazing and eloquent speakers as well. We've got Dr. Nishant Kumar, Joint Director at Central TB Division, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. We've got Mr. Arvind Kumar, Senior Advisor, Strategic Partnership, USAID India. We've got Dr. Arjun Kalyanpuri, American Board of Radiology, Chief Radiologist and CEO, Teleradiology Solutions. And we've got Mr. Naresh Kumar Hasija, Associate Vice President, Public Health India, Mylana Whiterus Company. I welcome you all to this panel. Thank you so much for taking out the time. It's absolutely a pleasure, and I'm honored to be moderating this session with all of yourself after having followed you and your professions for a long, considerable amount of time. Before we start, I'd just like to set up in terms of what the format of the session is. We've got 2 rounds of the session, and you'll get, within the 2 rounds, you'll get each question each for yourself, limiting your time to 4 minutes. I request you to limit your replies to 4 minutes, please. And then we will have our session towards the end. We'll open it up for a Q&A that's the most delightful part for our attendees to ask any questions from the panelists if they have. Just before setting up the questions, I'd just like to set up the context in terms of why we're here together. In light of the Prime Minister's vision to have Make India TB free by 2025, which is 5 years before the SDG goal of 2030 to eradicate tuberculosis by 2025, Government of India and USAID got together and launched this initiative called Corporate TB Pledge. The whole idea of the TB Pledge was to mobilize corporate sector to come and support and fight against tuberculosis. Furthermore, we've had Government of India strengthening its call for partnerships and initiating the Jan Andolan campaign, which started nearly recently in February 2021, where the whole idea is to reach out to a really large audience so that we can actually accelerate this process of eliminating tuberculosis and reach to our goal of 2025. Of course, the role of corporate sector is really, really critical here, given the fact they can mobilize resources, get their CSR fundings towards it, and given their presence in the communities. That's absolutely critical and it cannot just be missed out. The government's, of course, responsibility is to the way it holds facilities for diagnosis, treatment centers, and also providing nutritional support for TB schemes. Equally important when we look at the international agencies who play a critical role as well, given their knowledge and technical expertise in this area and bringing up more strategic relationships and strategic projects on board to ensure that we absolutely reach the target of eradicating tuberculosis by 2025. Of course, when we talk about partnerships, it's absolutely crucial for ensuring an impactful response to manage and eliminate any communicable disease, and that's absolutely a critical area for us to go forward. So before I begin, since we're talking about partnerships, since we're talking about the corporate sector, my first question is to Dr. Nishant Kumar. Just wanted to understand your view, sir. When we talk about, from your opinion, to eliminate tuberculosis by 2025, what are the specific requirements where corporate sector can play a significant role to support the Jan Andolan campaign that started recently by the government? If you could have your views on this.
Thank you, Renika, and thank you for having me here. I'm really privileged to be part of this panel discussion. And I think partly you said yourself that it has to be a collective effort. You said that Honorable Prime Minister has given us a task and to finish it 5 years before the global target to end TB in India. And you said it yourself that it has to be in partnership with everyone. And you mentioned about Jan Andolan. Jan Andolan means everyone. But corporate sector, has a unique position in helping the government, and they are also part of this Jan Andolan in a holistic way because they have their unique USP. They have their own marketing teams and they have their own HR departments, and they employ the most of the productive age group people in the country, in any country. So their role, unless it becomes a Jan Andolan, ending TB is just not possible. Government alone cannot do it. We recognize it very, very well. And the way we have worked the last 2 years, when we engaged with corporate sector, we engaged with other line ministries. So in that, I think corporate sector has a very important role to play, because we know that it is a business sense to have a healthy HR and to have workplace policy in their agenda, and what we see what corporate sector can do. First, they can take some small geography, the area they work in, where the industries are there. They adopt a village, they adopt a block, and try to work with Central TB Division and with all the technical guidelines. They join the effort in ending TB. See, the strategy of the Central TB Division to end TB has 4 pillars. It is detect, treat, prevent, and build. and corporate sector can help in all the sectors. They can cut across everywhere. They can help in detection. They can help in treatment. They can make an environment where anybody in their industry or the office, if suffering from TB, they can support the family, support the TB patient to continue the treatment. They can annually do an annual checkup, and they can help in giving extra nutrition and continuing the employment, so this will reduce the absenteeism if we do periodic checkups. And we make yesterday we had World TB Day celebrations. The Honorable Minister said that every mohalla, every ward has to work toward getting TB free. So so industries in itself, they are little communities. So talking TB, let's make it a felt need of the corporate sector, that the way we did with COVID. So last 2020, everybody was talking about COVID. So let's talk about TB in 2021, and let's make it a movement. Let's make it a habit. COVID has helped us in wearing masks. That can be very easily done in the corporate sector and your workforce, making the people aware about it. So prevention, advocacy, and build partnership, build the environment in the sector that the TB becomes a buzzword. See, COVID has taught us a lot of things. Because it was a new disease, but when we came together, and corporate sector has helped a lot in terms of getting the digital solution, getting the PPEs, so it can be done. And I think the corporate sector having their own marketing teams, they can making TB free a product and try to sell it and make it a buzzword. Use digital platforms, use social media, and make everybody aware, make everybody talk about ending TB, because the mode of spread is the same. It is an airborne infection. So let's make it a habit, and it becomes a workplace policy that let's talk about TB and let's do regular checkups. So I think these are the lines where corporate sector, the government looks at government sector with a lot of hope, and we know that we can do it. You have done it. Apollo Tyres have done a wonderful job. Other sectors, other industries are also joining hands with us, and government is taking 2 steps forward to engage the corporate sector in ending TB from India. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nishant. It's actually very, very well put. You rightly said the Jan Andolan is basically for everyone, and getting everyone mobilized, corporate sector has a really critical role. So I move on to the second panelist of mine, specifically talking about the corporate sector itself. So Arvind, you're working for USAID, and USAID promotes partnerships and has expertise working in this area for a very long time in diverse areas, focusing on multiple development issues, and specifically when we're looking at tuberculosis. In your experience, how do you see the role of corporate sector in elimination of TB efforts in India? What exactly has USAID been working on? Because obviously there's a huge experience that you bring in from your sector.
Thank you, Ritika. Good morning to all of you. It's a real pleasure to join you in this panel discussion. First and foremost, let me start with congratulating the National TB Elimination Program for organizing an excellent meeting yesterday, even yesterday. It was very heartening to see the ministers, so many corporates, so many champions joined this meeting. And again, to Apollo Tyres for the excellent work that you are doing. So let me start with that as the first point. Many of you may be knowing USAID is part of the US government. We are US government's premier leading agency for developmental programs. We work on multiple areas, including TB, maternal child health, HIV/AIDS, health and wellness centers, health system strengthening. And India, we have been partnering with the government of India for nearly 6 decades now. As far as your question on the role of corporates, we have to realize that we are in a very, very important time frame now. A time frame where there's a lot of challenges and there's a lot of opportunities. COVID itself has really made us to understand the challenges and how each and every organization has responded to these challenges. The second thing is also we have to realize that there used to be a time when there was a lot of mistrust and a lack of coordination and cooperation between the government and private sector. That has changed. If you see in the last several years, this has phenomenally changed, and the government is, as like Dr. Nishant mentioned, they're taking 2 steps now. In terms of reaching out to the corporates, giving them the opportunities, engaging them as a true partner for achieving the development outcomes, whether it's TB, whether it's mental health, whatever it is. So those are 2 big things which are happening. And the third big thing which is happening is all about emerging technologies. Gone are those days. Today, we everything is at our doorsteps. You can get a doctor within your by a phone. Your medicines are being provided. So there's a lot of technological changes that is happening today. So that's the context in which we are working today. Now, what does this offer to the corporates? So corporates, if you see, there are many companies like Apollo's and Vedantas who have taken a very, very strong leadership role. Mylan, for example, taken a leadership role in terms of the TB programs. But still a large number, I would say a majority of the companies do not know the problems that India faces with regard to TB. What is it? How is it going to impact them? They may think it's a neighborhood problem, it's not affecting us. But they have to realize that it can easily penetrate into their workplace and affect their entire business structures completely. So a passive approach is not at all going to be acceptable. Companies have to realize that it is in their best interest that they have to do programs for TB, for introductions of TB programs in their workplaces and companies. So what can companies do? Companies can do many things. One is very straight and simple workplace programs. So that's what the corporate TB pledge is all about, giving them the opportunity, whatever they want to do, whether they just want to put a policy or a clear plan. This year, these are the 3-4 things we will do within our workplace settings, or this is the type of CSR programs that we could undertake it. So there's a need for companies to sort of structure that whole program. Now, even within a workplace, what they have to do has to be very well thought through. Is it just an awareness program? Do they need to make sure there are clear policies on stigma, addressing stigma and discrimination? How can they support the people infected? Many of them may or may not know what are the schemes available in the government that could be availed by their employees, which could save considerable amount of cost for the companies and improve their balance sheet. So that's one part of that, the workplace programs. The second, like Dr. Nishant mentioned, like how do we make my blocks, my community areas sort of TB free? We are speaking about TB free highways, which Apollo's is doing, Apollo Tyres is leading. We're speaking about TB free cities. Now, if companies can start thinking about, in my catchment area, I should make this as a TB free community. So what can we do? How can we deploy the CSR resources? Third thing is that there's so much of opportunities that the government has provided for public-private partnership opportunities. So there is a menu available both in the corporate TB pledge portal as well as the ministry's central TB divisions program on the different public-private partnership opportunities. Many companies may not even know these opportunities. That's the third thing. Companies are known for innovations. They are known for becoming faster, smarter, efficient solutions. This is what they always focus on. So they could be running many grand challenges. Today, though TB, there's a lot of progress that has been made. Still, we have a lot of challenges. Treatment adherence is a challenge. Identifying the people is a challenge. So there could be many challenges. An organization can run hackathons. They could support already existing promising innovations for piloting solutions. They can introduce any solution. Like there could be supply chain companies having their own solutions. There could be IT companies having their own solutions. How do we bring those solutions? So there are multiple ways they could provide solutions to it. My last point is that companies have so much of expertise, whether it's IT, whether it's supply chain management, whether it's demand creation. So they can also, even in a simple way, work with the local governments, local NGO partners and say, we are willing to volunteer our time and effort for these activities. Many companies, once we call it a shadowing. So if you're there for 3-4 days in a program, you can easily find out what are the opportunities. How can we make things more efficient, more faster, more smoother? And then just by keeping their volunteers for a few days within the government programs, within the civil society programs, within the labs, within the private sector, you can spot a lot of opportunities. That itself could be a big contribution, and you can come back and say, okay, these are 5 opportunities that I'm considering. Many of them we can support it, some we may not be able to support it, but these are some opportunities which I think corporates can very actively play. I'll stop here.
That's very insightful, Arvind. I totally agree. A passive approach is not acceptable. We need to look at it at a more holistic point of view, and it's very insightful for yourself to have put those all those pointers across. I'll move on to the next panelist, Dr. Arjun Kalyanpur. I know you lead teleradiology solutions. So based on the work that you're working in the area, we would just like you to elaborate upon your current interventions that you have supported in the area of TB elimination. Also, I just wanted to know specifically about your Tripura model, where, you've been working extensively with the tribal belt. How can you absolutely look at that whole model be emulated this across the country? So if you could just talk about that, it'll be really, really great in terms of giving some kind of in-depth on this topic of TB elimination. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Renika, and it's a pleasure to be a part of this very august panel. As everyone knows, X-ray is a very key part of the diagnostic paradigm for TB detection. And based on this, one is able to institute treatment and prevent the spread of the infection. So it's really a very important tool. In fact, it has been described by WHO as an essential tool to end TB. The problem that we face today, though, is that there is a shortage of radiologists both in the country and in the world for the interpretation of radiologic studies, and TB X-rays are among these. So what we have done in our organization is we have developed a cloud-based platform, which we call RadSpa, which allows any hospital or diagnostic center anywhere in the country to upload images to our server. And from the server, the images get distributed to our panel of over 100 radiologists distributed across the country. And it allows for these X-rays or other imaging studies to be reported in a very short time frame with high level of accuracy by experienced radiologists. So that's the technology innovation that we have now brought to the state of Tripura, and this was through a tender process with the Ministry of Health of the state. We have now for the last 4 years been providing teleradiology reporting services to the state. Essentially, this is to about 24 centers there, which are the subdivisional hospitals, district hospitals, and community health centers. And the X-rays performed at all of these centers are uploaded to our server, and they are reported by our panel of radiologists. Till date, we have reported over 1 lakh such X-rays, about 106,000 to be exact. And there is we reviewed our data, and we found that over an 18-month period, there were about 300 patients who had some form of TB on their radiographs, either active or in the past. So clearly, there is an impact here in the TB space. Now, the other thing in such an environment is that if the X-rays are digital to begin with, then it's easy to upload them to the platform because they're already digitized. But in some of these centers, the older technology was still in existence, the analog X-ray machines. So we had to innovate further, and we developed a process for actually capturing these images using a digital camera and standardizing a workflow around it that allowed us to capture non-digital images from a view box, digitize them, and then upload them to our servers. This is a further workflow innovation that we've incorporated. And it's a low-cost technology, the whole idea being that it is able to benefit this tribal population and bring them access to health, to diagnostics at a very high level of reporting quality. In addition to the Tripura model, I'd just like to mention we also do some work with not-for-profit institutions through our Telerad Foundation. And there are many charitable hospitals across the country, and we support these hospitals through our foundation free of charge. And one in particular is a Ramakrishna Mission Hospital in Arunachal Pradesh, which was endowed by the Office of the President of India, and they have a CT and MRI scanner, and we have been reporting for them for over a decade now, entirely free of cost. So this is a model that from a technology perspective as well as an economic perspective is highly scalable and replicable across the country. And I think, every state can essentially benefit from this teleradiology model.
Thank you. It's very insightful again. I mean, it's absolutely amazing to see over 1 lakh X-rays. I mean, that's a great number, and I can absolutely talk about it as well, because I know you're a pioneer in terms of your virtual platform, having worked with your organization. I know Apollo Tyres Foundation is also partnering with yourself in your virtual platforms in the healthcare sector. So, of course, that's really, really great. I'll just move on to the next panelist of ours. My question for yourself is, Mr. Naresh Kumar, in light of Mylan's TB intervention at workplace as well as in the CSR space, we just like to know what exactly and how exactly are you supporting towards the National TB Elimination Program within your organization?
Thank you, and good morning, everybody. Like to congratulate NTEP, Apollo Tyres, and USAID for organizing such a platform. So, Mylan, as a company, we started working in tuberculosis last few years, and our key goals were to support, to understand the gaps and support as much as possible. I think USAID has been working with us closely and been guiding us. So, as Arvind said, and Dr. Nishant, they mentioned, why don't we pick up a district as well as, and then do work with them for elimination. So we worked with Planning Commission closely. So they suggested an aspirational district, Bahraich, where we did very, very advancing inclusive growth kind of work there. So where in this district, we work with a local NGO, IDENT and Niti Aayog, under the guidance of Niti Aayog. And we did active case findings in these districts, which has created a huge impact in that particularly 5 blocks where we did a lot of CTD provided IEC material distribution. We did a lot of screening, and we reached to almost 1 million population touch base, and we could connect those patients with Nikshay. Almost around 1,000 TB patients were identified, and those patients were connected to CTD. More than this, I will say that, as Dr. Arvind was mentioning about the use of technology, use of newer ways of doing things. So our motto was to see how a corporate, this was our first CSR project in tuberculosis, which was well recognized by CII, ET Health World, and then it has given us a lot of motivation to our teams to do more work in this space. And our keen goal was to make sure we accelerate government's effort of elimination of tuberculosis by 2025. Apart from Bahraich, we also do a lot of education initiatives. We work with TB board closely to train healthcare workers. In last year, we have trained almost 1,000 plus physicians across the country through this initiative. We also work with USAID and as their platinum partner for TB, HIV and family planning. These are our core focus areas. And as you know that under SDGs, USAID and us, we are focusing on this space. We do a lot of, we try to provide a lot of innovative solutions through these collaborations. And as a part of Pledge, we also sensitize our corporate. So as Dr. Nishant was saying, what at least a corporate can do is sensitize their whole population. So we have almost around, I will say 25,000 workforce here in India. So we started a bit of ours and we started sensitizing our people about tuberculosis. See, we were also surprised to know that when we started sensitizing our own people, and we could see that there is still a taboo about tuberculosis. So we will continue to do that and move ahead in this space. In 2020, we have launched a new initiative called Panacea. So this is an initiative where we provide holistic pulmonary rehabilitation program, which is a virtual program. And this program happens once in a month where we have yoga instructors, nutritionists, psychiatrists, neurologists, and cardiologists on the platform. So intention was this was started at the time of COVID, but now we see most of the TB patients coming to this platform and getting their patients and their families and getting a lot of new information about the disease. Thank you.
Thank you, Naresh. It's great to hear in terms of what exactly your organization, and you rightly said, basically sensitizing supply chain, and that's something the corporates can bring forward. It's not just themselves, but extending that part and sensitizing the supply chain. That's really, really critical in taking this movement and in making sure that we reach to our 2025 target way before the national goal. So I just kind of, in terms of, moving on to the next session, moving on to the next question for yourself only, rather than going back to Dr. Nishant, I just kind of ask you this next question because I know you're working for the pharmaceutical industry, and that's something I just wanted to understand in terms of what do you think and how do you think the pharmaceutical industry with their expertise and skills can contribute to the NTEP overall planning in terms of making sure that we reach this target way before the 2030?
Excellent. So I think, as you know, that we work very closely with the Central TB Board and we work at the field level also. So we wanted to understand, 5 years back, we wanted to understand what are the problems in tuberculosis. Particularly, we identified as a pharmaceutical company, there are two problems. Problem number one, duration of treatment is very, very long. Problem number two, pill load, number of pills patients are taking is very, very high. So these were the two goals. I think Dr. Nishant will appreciate this. We took and we started working on this path for long. These two goals, I will say that we are very near to achieve these goals. There will be a reduction in duration of treatment from up to 24 months to 24 weeks. That kind of clinical studies are on. And pill load from 8 to 10 pills a day. We are working on protocols which can reduce pill load to 3 to 4 pills a day. So if we are able to achieve these goals, I will say that as a pharmaceutical industry, we have contributed in TB elimination. So among MDR and XDR TB, 3 new drugs have come after research of 40 years. Out of those 3, 2 drugs, belamnide and protonamide, have come from Mylan Viatris. So this is our key focus, where we are trying different cocktails so that we can reduce duration of treatment as well as pill load. Apart from this, we believe we are not only the pill making company. We would like to come forward and support government with digital supply chain, where we would like to try a model for last mile delivery, how we can use best way of picking up the technology and bring it to government. So these are the few things I will say that we will work for the betterment of the patients, as well as also one more area where we would like to bring the prediction modeling of supply chain. We will work closely with CTD so that there is no lack of medicines and it can be predicted before time. That's the bit we wanted to do with CTD.
That's good to hear in terms of looking at duration of treatment and reducing the pill load as well. So that's interesting to see a different perspective in terms of how we can, how pharmaceutical can help in terms of looking at this overall TB elimination program. So my next question to yourself, Dr. Arjun, I know you mentioned about the radiologists, there's lack and shortage, and you've been working in this virtual platform space for a very long time. And of course, you mentioned really absolutely accurately in terms of the technical know-how and economic perspective, it does make a lot of sense. And I know, in fact, we all know there is a major reason for high mortality in TB is that it goes undetected. And that's something you were referring to as well earlier. We're aware that your organization has worked with the Gates Foundation on a project which is basically to do with AI applications, and you've worked on that, and you're also engaged in developing your own AI application as well. So could you just talk us briefly about this artificial intelligence in detection of tuberculosis in terms of what you've done so far and what the project was all about? It'll be really great.
Yes, thank you, Renika. It's as you pointed out, we have been doing this for a long time. We're a 20-year-old organization, and one of the things that we have realized in the course of these 20 years that we've been providing teleradiology services is that the shortage of radiologists is not something that will go away anytime soon. It is only increasing actually, because the use of radiologic imaging is increasing in our country and all across the world, and the number of radiologists is not increasing in proportion. And TB screening is, one such example of where large volumes of data are generated which require interpretation, and particularly when you look in a model where you combine the mobile screening unit for acquisition of the X-rays, you can be doing very large numbers of X-rays in a very short period of time, and these need to be reported. Now, so you have a mismatch between the number of radiographs and the number of radiologists, and you also have to have very high levels of accuracy, because obviously you don't want to put patients into any incorrect treatment situation. So what we found and what we realized is that teleradiology is one step in this direction by balancing the workload and bringing the images to the radiologist. But a long-term solution that has appeared in the last few years is that of deep learning and artificial intelligence. And a couple of years ago, we did a project with the Gates Foundation and other partners, which was a large project extending across 2 continents. It was conducted simultaneously in Asia and Africa. And the X-rays were interpreted in parallel by radiologists at our center, and we evaluated 3 different artificial intelligence algorithms as part of the project. And the results were very encouraging, and they showed that the accuracy of the artificial intelligence algorithms was very high. It was approximately 95% accuracy, which was comparable with that of radiologists. So the learning is that, and the thing with deep learning is that these algorithms actually improve over time. So if they were 95% at that time, over a period of time, that accuracy would improve even further based on the way these algorithms are designed. So this is very encouraging information, and the results are particularly strong in the section of bacteriology positive TB, so which is really the area which we are most concerned about. So that is also an encouraging result. So based on that, in our organization, also we have taken this on, and we are focused on a make in India for India approach. So we have developed an algorithm which we call Chest Assist, which detects multiple radiographic abnormalities on a chest X-ray, including pneumonias, lung nodules, pleural effusions, and all of which are manifestations of pulmonary tuberculosis. So these algorithms, when combined particularly with a teleradiology type of workflow, can be the answer to the challenges of our TB screening programs, which ultimately require high quality reporting by radiologists in a short time frame. So the artificial intelligence is not intended to replace the radiologist, but it's intended to support the radiologist and allow them to be more productive and more accurate in their reporting. So they can do large volumes of work with the same level of accuracy and in a very short time frame. So I think this is really the way of the future for diagnosis of TB.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. Rajan. Absolutely rightly said. I think even when Naresh was talking about, he spoke about technological solutions to support the government, and this could be one of those. I really like the fact in terms of looking at the Chest Assist, make in India for India. That's something that you're working towards. It's really absolutely amazing, because it's very well said that you're supporting the radiologists, not replacing them, because given the fact that the volume of radiographs is going to be really high, so this AI module or the algorithm might enhance and accelerate the detection process even further. So that's absolutely amazing to see that there is stuff that's coming out in this space, and we will rest assured that we will be moving towards our target of 2025 sooner than we actually think. Next question, I'll move on to Arvind. I know you've been working, and there is this in this space, and you mentioned about the public-private partnerships that are there, and the government itself is looking to foster, and there is a huge remit of various ideas in terms of what corporates can work with the government and different agencies as well. My next question to yourself would be in terms of course, there is existing support that you bring in, there is leadership that you extend through USID. But in terms of looking at going further, what more do you think they can contribute to increase the engagement of corporates to support the TB elimination efforts at the moment? So in terms of if you could just bring in that side of the corporate TB partnerships, it will be really, really great.
Renika, my apologies. I think there is some work happening in my next flat, so there may be some disturbance. My apologies for that. USAID, as you know, plays a catalytic role. We connect various organizations, like-minded organizations, for achieving national goal. A couple of things which we could possibly do is, one is that because we have access to some of the global best practices, we bring those best practices, whether it's the product or the process, to India and to the corporates. In turn, we also do reverse transfer. So India has been also doing a lot of good practices and good solutions. So we have programs that facilitate and transfer of promising healthcare solutions from India to other countries. And so India is now starting to sort of show lots of successful stories in TB programs. So how do we amplify this both within India and outside India is something which we are seriously considering, and there are a couple of mechanisms that we have already started with regard to this. Second area is that there are some companies which still feel that access to capital could be a challenge for them, for their programs. So we work with a lot of financial institutions. State Bank of India is one of our partners. Along with, we have worked with the National Health Authority to introduce a blended financing facility, which brings access to capital. It could be grants, it could be equity, it could be loans. So this arrangements is also helping some of the organizations to sort of address this critical gap of access to capital for development programs. The third area I would say is in terms of amplifying the, which I already mentioned to you, and then TA to companies. The third area is the technical assistance to companies. Even now, several companies, I would say a large number of companies still do not know about the various issues and the various resources that is available both within the national as well as the state programs. That's where we can play that supportive role. We have the best of the world programs. Union, which is our lead partner, the IDFEET program, has a substantive experience. They have more than 100 years of experience as an organization. And so they are our lead partners as far as the technical assistance programs is concerned. We can connect them through our virtual platform that we have established. Today, corporates can get either a technical assistance, or if they want to work with a particular geography, they can find partners. If they want to introduce their innovations or get some technical assistance on innovations. So we have created that platform for companies to sort of quickly at one-stop shop get those support solutions. So those are some of the areas that we think we could possibly play a supportive role to the National TB Elimination Program. Thank you.
Thanks, Arvind. I totally agree with you. I mean, you've really highlighted one of the key areas, access to capital, because there is a critical gap to development programs, and that's something you usually see that in the space where of course there is a gap, and sometimes there is a gap in knowledge, know-how as well, which your partner organizations that you mentioned are filling in terms of the technical expertise. I'll move on to our next panelist, Dr. Nishant Kumar. Sir, I just wanted to understand, I mean, you've heard a lot about what corporate sectors brought forward in terms of their know-how, in terms of their partnerships, in terms of what all is happening in the artificial intelligence space, in terms of also looking at the pharmaceutical company where they're trying to reduce their, looking at the treatment, reducing the TB treatment. in terms of all of this, based on the discussion that we've had and the deliberations, how do you think the government can utilize the intent shown by corporates and leverage their reach and expertise for the TB elimination by 2025? If you could just highlight some of those things in terms of what can the government bring in as well, that'll be really, really great, sir.
Thank you, Rika. Thank you all the panelists for this wonderful discussion. And as I said earlier, elimination cannot be achieved without collaboration of all the stakeholders, and corporate sector does have a pivotal role to play in this fight. First thing which government wants is the much needed awareness. Let's start talking about. We are engaging with corporate for last couple of years, maybe more than that, and let's increase it to more organizations. We see there are some initiatives, and as Mr. Hasija said, that when they sensitize, when they started actually, they stopped being a pharmaceutical company and they tried to see the other parts of the program, how much they were sensitized that still there is stigma about TB, there is still lack of awareness, and people still, and it's a very old disease. Everybody, when COVID hit us, everybody tried to understand the disease. So first step that the corporates can do is sensitize their organization. They should start making the place TB friendly place, so to say. So see, it's an airborne infection. So anyways, I think industry standards also say that it has to be ventilated and everything. But let's start talking about this dreaded disease more holistically, and basically, as I said earlier, you have to decide. You can help us the program in all the areas, that is detection, treatment, prevention, and building partnerships. So you can, that has to be seen. What I found from this discussion that we as a program think that we are making enough efforts to let the community know what are there in the program, but our learnings are also that still there is a lot of things which the government is doing is not known to general public. So that's, and Dr. Arjun also said that there are some people want to do, but then there are they don't stick to guidelines. So the role seat. So thank you, Renika, for that question. As I said earlier, elimination cannot be achieved without collaboration of all concerned stakeholders, and the corporate sector does have a pivotal role to in this fight against TB. Your question was that how government can utilize this initiative which has shown by the corporate. So as I mentioned earlier also, that to start with, they can help the program in all the areas where we work, whether it is detection, whether it is treatment, whether it is adherence, prevention, whether it is building partnerships. So there are 4 major areas where we can take help, and the way we have engaged with corporate sector for last 2 years and more than 2 years, what we have learned that all different corporate or in industry have their own skill set, they have their own geographies where they can work on these different components. And one thing which the role CTD can play is get the guidelines, standards of the TB care, so that the information is correct, it is uniform, and we can CTD can play a role of facilitator wherever they can show the intent of working in a specific geography. We can align our WHO consultants in the field but in the first instance, the way Mr. Hasija said, in there is a pharmaceutical company and they were supplying drugs to the program, but when they tried to help the program in a holistic way, then they adopted a district and they try to understand the whole gamut of services which are provided under the program. And so they started having annual checkups in their own company, and they came to know that still there are stigma issues, awareness issues. So the first thing that the corporates can do when they are pledging to join this fight against TB is make their areas of influence, areas of work, areas of their industry discrimination free, and let that talk about TB should be the buzzword in this fight now onwards, and they should talk about the common symptoms of TB and where to get tested and where to get the drugs from, linking the TB patients with the program. So this is one thing which can be started. That there's a huge gap in awareness. The program is doing advocacy for last more than a decade, and it looks that those campaigns are not sustained because of resources. So one thing where the corporates can help with their resources, that a continued message which is sustainable throughout the year and a uniform message should be there on through all the possible media platforms, be it social media, the way COVID taught us, when it is a felt need. So when it is a felt need, the community tries to find out what is to be done. So let's talk about that, inform about TB, what are the common symptoms, and that awareness generation can be big help for government through corporates. Plus, different corporate sectors have different skill sets. I mean, they can help us in supply chain management. They can help us in digital solutions. We heard today what Dr. Arjun is working on, and that's the way forward. And the intention of the government is very clear that alone we can't do, and we need each and every one of the stakeholder to come together. And I think we are moving in a very right direction. The way we are having this meeting, and I'm sure that your organization can play again a role of getting other organization on this board, and let's make this this energy infectious, and let's talk about different getting the resources for ending TB. And we have learned to wear masks. It's so easy. This is a very doable thing in your area of influence, that it is sustained. The social distancing is sustained. Not only TB, any airborne infection can be controlled by that. And you also the special skill set which this sector has is their innovation and their reach. I mean, the reach of the sector, corporate sector, is way beyond where government can reach. So that can be one area where we can collaborate. And as we talk regularly, let's have these kind of interactions regularly, and then we'll identify the areas where which we don't know today. Maybe next, in the times to come, we can discuss what all is required by the program, what are the gaps in the program where your resources and your specific skill set can help. So this is, in short, I would like to, say that government has shown its intent that we want to work with the private sector. The way private sector notification has increased from 3,000 in 2015 to 8 lakhs in 2019. I mean, that is tremendous, because program also realized that there are areas why private sector was not engaging. So as I said earlier, government is ready to take steps forward, and we are open. Any suggestions? We can have these dialogues continued, and let's keep these kind of interactions regularly, and let's try to we can easily scale the model which Mr. Asija's company is doing. We can scale it up, we can share with other corporates. So I think that's the way forward. I think the continuous dialogue is the key forward, and we know that the corporate sector is motivated to join this fight, and because it's everywhere. At the end of the day, it makes a business sense to have a healthy workforce. So I think I'll stop there.
Thank you, sir. I totally second, and we actually absolutely resonate with your views in terms of elimination can't be done alone. And corporate sector has a pivotal role, and that's absolutely essential. It's a key element. Of course, we know that partnership is essential. It's a critical element in terms of taking this work forward. As the old aphorism goes, there is go fast, go alone. go far, go together. So I totally second your views in terms of we cannot do it alone. And when we talk about in terms of formulating the partnerships, I took a leaf from your book, Arvind. Passive approach is not acceptable, and that is true. It is not acceptable. We need to formulate more public-private partnerships going forward. Saying that, of course, Apollo Ties Foundation is a diamond member for the Corporate TV Pledge, and the way we've also been working in this space is we actually believe in this ethos of formulating partnerships and collaborations. So it's not just within our healthcare centers that we have been looking at awareness and detection of tuberculosis, but we've gone a step further, which we've been talking about in terms of how we can extend it to our supply chain, how we can cascade this message and take this message forward in terms of reaching a larger audience to make it a truly Jan Andolan campaign where we reach to a larger volume. I'm really intrigued by lots of views in terms of what we've brought together in terms of technology, in terms of looking at the treatment, that, reduction of treatment that Naresh mentioned as well. And Dr. Arjun, I am absolutely, intrigued with this AI technology of yours in terms of how we can bring it forward and expedite this whole process going forward. I'll stop over here in being conscious of the time, and I will open the house for Q&A. That's the most exciting part of this discussion. So I'll open this for a Q&A session, and I thank you all for attending the session with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
So I think I already have my first question. Am I audible? So that's the first question is for Dr. Arjun, actually. And that's the question I could have asked you as well. It says, is there something that is being done by your organization to increase the number of radiologists? As you mentioned that the AI technology will not replace, but only support the radiologist. With radiographs increasing, this is something that's required and it's the need of the hour. So if you could just give some kind of information and your reply on that, and please limit it to 1 minute. Thank you.
Thank you, Renika. I think that's an excellent question, and I congratulate the person who asked it. There is a significant shortage of radiologists. We definitely need to train more. In our organization, we are doing a lot of online education. The problem is currently the government policy is such that you cannot give a degree in radiology unless you actually have a 100-bedded hospital at which the training is being conducted. So organizations such as ours, we have outpatient clinics and diagnostic centers, but unless you have a 100-bedded hospital, awarding a degree is not part of the governmental policy. So if that policy were to be modified, then it would open up a lot more opportunities for radiologist education. Having said that, we do run an online education portal for radiologists called RadGuru, and we conduct regular online lectures and training programs in the online space. So there is a lot that can be done and that we try and do to increase the quality of radiology that is being practiced by the radiological community and by giving a continuing education in the space.
Thank you. I mean, it's good to hear that there is the quality of radiologists is being enhanced by your organization. Of course, the policy modifications is something that is open, and given the fact that the government is present in this forum, I'm sure these are the kind of views that will go back in terms of looking at what further work needs to be done in the advocacy and policy influencing. Thank you so much, Dr. Arjun. I have another question actually from the Q&A, which is for Arvind. It says, how can USAID support in filling the gap of capital in development programs, as during COVID it is quite challenging? That's a question for yourself, Arvind.
Thanks, Renika. Again, a great question. I just want to be sure that nobody thinks that, gets this impression that USAID is going to give more funds. That's not the point. Certainly, we are a catalytic organization. And if somebody looks into the scenario over the last few years, there's been a lot of access to capital For example, the government itself has increased their budgets almost like 3 to 4-fold over the last several years for TB programs. You see a lot more impact investors coming into this picture and providing opportunities to increase access to capital. In terms of CSR also, you see there's been an increase. Obviously, there's been a challenge in terms of getting the CSR for health programs and within health programs for TB programs. So as a catalytic organization, we try to sort of influence these things. For example, taking these promising solutions to the government and influencing in terms of either putting this as part of their PIP or customizing strategic purchasing arrangements. So that's one type of an arrangements that we do. The second is we work with a lot of organizations, and we all know that the sum is always greater than its parts. So if an organization wants to do something, it could be an NGO, it could be a foundation, it could be a corporate. If they want CSR resources, maybe one organization may not be able to provide all those things. So we sort of play the catalytic role of bringing together multiple organizations to fund a particular common idea. That's the second type of arrangement or support that we could facilitate. Third, as I mentioned earlier, the blended financing facility with the National Health Authority, though it is very focused on COVID, but TB and COVID, we know the interconnection. So if you're able to establish a good connection, the blended financing facility is again an option where access to capital, whether it's the grant, whether it's the debt or loan, could be facilitated. So by and large, there's a lot of opportunities available, and we are happy to take that catalytic role and connect the dots to make sure access to capital is provided to various organizations, whether it's foundations or corporates or non-governmental organizations.
Thank you, Arvind. I think it is the need of the hour, and given the fact that during COVID times, it's been quite challenging for organizations, and CSR funds have been limited as well. This is good to hear that there is lots of support models that are being proposed and that are being pushed by USAID, and of course with the government increasing its budget, specifically when you look at the overall healthcare sector as well, that's been an increase. So it is kind of reassuring, and it's good to hear as well. So I have
just one final point on that is that in terms of access, particularly investments, sometimes the banking and financial institutions don't see health as a priority sector. We have started working with the financial institutions to change that mindsets. Today, more and more organizations are getting a little bit more open to consider investments into health programs. There is also a little bit lesser focus, I won't say focus, lesser conditionalities associated with the collaterals and all. So these are some things which we are trying to influence, which can open up the financing sector for health programs.
And I'm sure that would be appreciated, because if there is a lot of work that you're doing in this sector, it is somewhere going to cascade, and somewhere it's going to be well received as well. So that's really good to see that there is a lot of influencing for the financial sector that is happening by organizations such as yours, because that is what is required in today's time. So I'll move on. Do you want to add something else to this, Arvind?
No, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have another question for Naresh. It's on the pharma companies, and it's an interesting question. It says, Naresh, how can pharma companies improvise on speedy recovery or advanced treatment? You mentioned about this. Is there any specific rollout plan? I think the person who's asking this question is talking about your treatment facility that you're trying to decrease as well. So that's in your conversations that you mentioned. If you could just highlight about that, please.
Thank you. And I believe as a pharma company, I think we should do more research in this space, which I think we are introducing newer treatments. Then we are introducing newer regimens. So these regimens will be helpful in achieving faster recovery. And how I will take an example of a new treatment regimen which is going to come is BPAL, which is for XDR cases. And this treatment regimen global trial is done. Based on that, registration in India is happened. We have DCGI approval. Now, Indian clinical trial is going on for this new regimen. We are working very closely with ICMR and National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. We are also expecting a global outcome of a trial called GENIX. That outcome plus Indian trial outcome will surely help us to roll out this combination in India. Thank you.
Thank you. That's good to hear. There is this work that's happening in this space, which is absolutely an essential and required. I have the next question, which is for myself. Wow, that's great. So this says, how can other corporates learn more about Apollo Tyres? Does Apollo Tyre partner with other corporates for CSR related projects? I just make it short and sweet, given we're running short of time. Yes, you can learn about Apollo Tyres in terms of what we're doing in this space and what we're doing in our CSR through our online platforms. You can also connect with us through our email, which is csr.desk@apollotyres.com. In terms of what we're doing with regards, in terms of partnering with other corporates for CSR related projects, all our projects have some kind of partnership. So the whole ethos of our working in the CSR space is to foster partnerships which are meaningful. They could be either collaborations which have financial element, or they could be non-monetary as well in terms of knowledge sharing with our technical partners. So that's something that we've been following, and then we have over the last few years have been fostering partnerships. We have been working with our OE partners such as Ashok Leyland. We're working with Ambuja Siemens. We're also working with government. We are working with, of course, USAID and the Union, who are our technical partners for tuberculosis as well. So that's something we've been working on, and that is one of our core principles, not to work in silos, but work in partnerships. So with that, I've nearly come to an end to close this session. It's absolutely been an enriching and fabulous panel. I thank all the panelists again for their contributions. We've had contributions from the government where they've spoken about the 4 pillars in terms of detection, treatment, environment, providing an environment, and continuing the employment. That's been absolutely fabulous. We've had USAID playing a catalytic role in terms of connecting like-minded organizations, sharing global best practices, and not just sharing global best practices, but also taking some of the learnings from India and sharing those as well, the successful models. We've had contributions from representations from the private sector, teleradiology, Myelin, and of course Apollo Tyres as well, providing support in early detection and accurate detection through X-rays, coming up with AI algorithms, which is something that Dr. Arjun mentioned, which is 95% accurate. That's absolutely marvelous. To exploring options of decreasing pill loads, and there's a lot of contribution that's happening to also making TB-free highways. All of that, there is a lot of work that's happening, the efforts to make India TB-free, because we all know that TB is one of the world's deadliest diseases. Last year, we've had more deaths due to TB rather than COVID, and that's something which is an alarming fact that all of us must know. But looking at this panel, we can also see there's a lot of work that's happening in this space. So we are absolutely on the road to make India TB-free. TB harega, desh jeetega. On that note, signing off. Thank you, Prithvi. Thanks to all the panelists again.
It was indeed a very healthy and informative session, which is need of the hour. Very well moderated and bang on time. We had seen different perspectives from four eminent speakers. Thanks to all the panelists and the moderator for making the session more interesting. Edition 1 we witnessed in the month of September 2020 at Gujarat. Now we are on the verge of edition 2. We have Amit Ranjan Chaudhary, Program Lead Health, Apollo Tyres Foundation, with us to share the campaign highlights of TB-free transshipment location campaign edition 2.
Thank you, Prithvi, and good morning to all the participants who have joined the virtual event from different parts of the country. Let's allow me to share my screen. Yeah. So before sharing the campaign update, I would like to share about Apollo Tyres Foundation and its initiative. Apollo Tyres Foundation is the corporate social responsibility arm of Apollo Tyres Limited. and its all CSR initiatives are aligned to the national and sustainable development goals. Healthcare program for trucking community is the flagship and oldest program under CSR initiative of Apollo Tyres. As on date, 31 healthcare centers are operational at major transshipment hubs in 19 states of India. The services we provide through healthcare center include HIV awareness and prevention, vision care, tuberculosis, and non-communicable disease. Especially we focus on diabetes and high blood pressure. And also we provide general ailment treatment to the beneficiary. Through this program, Apollo Tyres has reached out to over 5.5 million beneficiaries since the starting of the program. The program presents across 19 states at 31 transshipment locations. So now I would like to talk about the TB program and its services. So in the year 2017, Apollo Tyres started TB program as a pilot from Delhi location, and in the year 2019 we signed a corporate TB pledge as diamond member. The union is our technical partner for TB program. So under this TB initiative, our focus on generating awareness on tuberculosis, case identification, testing services, and linkages, confirm TB cases with the DOTS and government schemes. Our teams and counselors regularly in touch with confirmed cases to adhere the better treatment and further support to the patient. This initiative recognized in the best practice compendium released by Union Health Minister in August 2020 last year. TB free transshipment location campaign edition 2, it was launched on 8th of March and continued till 24th of March 2021. The campaign aim was to intensify case identification among truckers and allied population in transshipment hubs across all 31 locations. During this campaign, on 10th of March, we established one microscopy center at Agartala location under public-private partnership. And all the support we received from National Health Mission, Government of Tripura, and that center was inaugurated by Dr. Siddharth Shiv Jaiswal, Mission Director, National Health Mission, Government of Tripura. And you can see the pictures of awareness activities right hand of the slide. So under the campaign, second edition of campaign, you can see the achievement of initiative. So first edition, we reached out 60,000 beneficiaries through awareness activities. So in addition to campaign, we found 47 confirmed cases, and out of 47, as on date, 33 have been linked with DOTS facilities. So in total, edition 1 and edition 2, approximately we have found 100 confirmed cases. And right hand of the slide, you can see when we started TB services under healthcare program, total reach out near to 3 lakhs and total testing conducted above 5,000 and confirmed cases is 261. And out of 261, 180 confirmed cases put on DOTS. You can see the glimpse of activities. So different type of awareness activities we organized during the second edition of TB free transshipment location campaign across all 31 locations. You can see the one-to-one interaction, rally, group discussion, public announcement, different interesting game activity with the trucking community and poster exhibitions. This year on 24th of March on World TB Day, Apollo Tyres Foundation work in the space of tuberculosis have been recognized by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. Apollo Tyres Foundation is committed to TB Free India by 2025. Thank you. Thank you, Prithvi.
Thanks, Amit. That was indeed very well showcased about the Apollo Tyres work in the field of healthcare for trucking community with respect to tuberculosis. When there is a beginning, there is an end in whatever we do in life. That's the case of today's event as well. We have come to the last session of today's event, closing remarks. We have Dr. Manu Matthew, Deputy Project Director, I Defeat TB, the Union, to deliver the closing remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Manu Matthew from the Union. It's an honor to deliver the vote of thanks for this important virtual gathering. First and foremost, thanks to Central TB Division, Dr. Sudarshan Mandal, ADG TB, and Dr. Nishant Kumar, DADG TB, for taking time out of their busy schedule for today's webinar. Thanks to CTD for leading the fight against TB and supporting corporate-led initiatives in TB elimination. Thank you, Dr. T. Ramarao and Dr. Asha Frederick, State TB officers, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, for joining us today and giving a state's perspective. I would like to thank Ms. Sangeeta Patel and Mr. Arvind Kumar from the USAID for joining the webinar today and sharing their insights. Thanks to USAID for catalyzing the engagement in the corporate sector at large. Thank you, Dr. Arjun Kalyanpur from Teleradiology Solutions and Mr. Naresh Hasija from Myland for their vibrant participation in the panel discussion. It was very heartwarming to hear out the TB champions. Thank you for sharing your inspiring stories and re-emphasizing the importance of the fight against TB. Thanks to Mr. Amit Ranjan Chaudhary and Mr. Shadab for their presentations. Thank you, Mr. Anand Satyamurthy, Mr. Satish Sharma, Mr. Thomas Matthew, and Ms. Renika Grover from Apollo Tyres for their address and for moderating the panel discussion so wonderfully. Ms. Renika is our champion in promoting Corporate TB Pledge. Through her support, Corporate TB Pledge had partnered with Federation of Kutch Industries Association. I thank the team at the Union, Ms. Shrija, Ms. Tripti, Ms. Gulshan, for their support in organizing this event. The Apollo Tyres Foundation as a diamond member under the Corporate TB Pledge, has made landmark contributions in the nation's fight against TB. Especially their work in reaching out to trucking communities, a key population designated by the National TB Elimination Program, has been appreciated. In 2 rounds of active case finding, they've identified almost 100 TB patients who would have otherwise been missed out. Congratulations to the Apollo Tyres Foundations on this amazing contribution. Apollo Tyres Foundations, through their contribution, have shown the role of corporate sector in Jan Andolan for a TB-free India. A big thank you to Apollo Tyres Foundation for organizing this webinar and demonstrating that corporates can bring a different perspective and plug gaps that would have otherwise been missed. On behalf of the Union and the Corporate TB Pledge Secretariat, we shall continue to support Apollo Tyres Foundation and all the other members of the Corporate TB Pledge. Finally, I thank all the participants who have joined this webinar and for making it a successful event. Pardon me if I have missed anyone. With that, I conclude by welcoming you all and your generous contributions in the nation's fight against TB. TB harega, Desh jeetega. Thank you.
Thanks to Dr. Manu, and once again, thanks to all of you for joining with us for this virtual event. And together, let's eradicate TB from India by 2025. Good day ahead.